I will call the meeting to order, seeing that it's 7 o'clock. Before we get started, let's introduce everyone on this meeting. I'm Sandra Brock. When I call your name, please confirm you can hear me by verifying that you are present. And we'll start with the commissioners. Travis,
Present.
thank you. And Jonathan.
I'm here.
And Patrick is not here. And if anyone who's happens to be listening into this want to join the Conservation Commission, you can go to our website and see that we are looking for another commissioner. Is that like Leah, we're still looking?
Yep,
Okay, thank you. Now we'll go through our staff. Leah,
I'm here.
thank you. And then Jan,
I'm here.
thanks. And for the speakers for 35 Crosby, I'll call out your name. If you're here, just say that you're present so that we can hear you and make sure that you can hear us. For 35 Crosby Road, now they're going for continuance. Are they here tonight, Leah?
They're
Yes,
here.
Ray Quinn present.
All
Yep,
right.
It's continued from last time and we'll be hearing from them again tonight.
Okay, great. Is Mark Santora here? So I heard Ray, thank you. And then Nick Mucci. That's okay, we have Ray here. So and then for 61 Leland Street, Lee, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce your last name, Casaselli.
They
Oh.
told me they'd be here a little closer to 7:15.
Okay, I'll just run through them. Timothy Walsh, Vito Colinar, and Jarrett Gillette. Okay, great. This open meeting of the
Sandra, I'm
Conservation.
here too. It's Nick Musi. I'm sorry I was muted.
Not a problem. We just go through it to make sure that we can hear you and that you can hear us. So
Great, thank you.
not a problem. This open meeting of the Conservation Commission is being conducted remotely via Zoom pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order as extended on June 15th, 2021, February 12th, 2022, and July 16th of 2022. Access information for the public has been provided on the town website. This meeting is being recorded. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. If you're using a dial-in by telephone feature, you can mute yourself by pressing *6. As chair, I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. Please note that you will not have screen sharing privileges, but staff can display any visuals per your queue. After speakers conclude their remarks, I will invite each commissioner to provide any comments, questions, or motions. After the commissions have spoken, I will allow public comments to be spoken by participants. Participants must use the raise hand feature, clicking on the hand icon at the bottom right of the Zoom menu bar to indicate they would like to speak. If you are using dial in by telephone feature, press *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute when you are called upon. Participants who raise their hand will be recognized one at a time and will be promoted to speak. Public comments will be followed by commission and applicant responses. Finally, each vote will be conducted by a roll call vote. As a reminder, the commission is concerned with state and town wetlands and stormwater regulations. Concerns outside of these purviews need to be addressed by the appropriate boards. For example, road conditions must be addressed by the select board. Traffic concerns must be addressed by the planning board. Okay, so now I need to go back to our agenda. Yeah, look at that, I found it. Leah, action items.
Yeah.
y-
Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna say, if you want to just go down the list, it should be pretty quick.
All right, sounds good. So first up is meeting minutes. They were all sent out. If anyone has any comments or questions, please unmute and let me know. And this is obviously for the commissioners. If not seeing any, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the January 17th meeting.
I thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. Second. So we have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Travis
Yes.
and Jonathan.
Yes.
I am also a yes. The meeting minutes are approved. So Leah, request for partial certificate of compliance for Highfield subdivision.
Yeah, they're gonna come on the 21st for that. They have parts of what we asked for, but they're still waiting on their report from their wetland scientist.
Okay.
about their replications. So we're rescheduling them to the 21st. And then we still had their conservation restriction on here as well. So two different people have kind of been handling these two things. The one that was handling the CR hasn't been responsive in a little while. We can check with him if you want to keep it on the 21st with the COC request, or do you want the CR to drop off at this point?
Give them one more shot, and
Okay.
hopefully there'll be someone here from Highfields on the next meeting, so that we can actually let them know, just so that, hey, listen, we've been trying to do that. We're going to drop it from our agenda if no one's going to respond to us.
Okay,
Even though it's two different people, it's just letting them know.
sure.
Okay. Those are those all of the action items?
Those are our action items. I did just want to give a plug to the MACC annual conference. We have the budget available if any of you guys want to attend. I think you have to sign up through your own login through MACC, but then there should be an option to say, like, send an invoice to the office and then we can pay it. If that isn't how it works, just talk to Jan or I and we can help you figure it out
Yeah.
so that we pay that bill.
Yeah, and this year is going to be, it's going to be hybrid again, I think, or it's not going to be, it's still going to be virtual, if I remember correctly. So they try to spread it out over time. There's quite a few really good sessions. If you're interested, yeah, you can check the website, and if you run into any issues, just check in with Jan or Leah. So, does anyone have any questions? I think hopefully this will be the last time it's virtual, and fall conference went pretty well, and hopefully the next fall conference will continue to be in person, and we'll figure out what we can do for the annual education conference. Does Jonathan or Travis had any questions on the MACC, kind of what you can actually go and see for presentations?
No questions, no.
Okay.
No.
I've been on the website though, snooping around.
Yeah, they can have some really good folks there that do presentation. It's very relaxed, so it'll be good. Leah, can you give me, I don't think there's much of an update, but can you give me an update on anything going on with North Street?
The park?
Yep.
So we have the contract all signed between the town and RDLA. That's squared away. We also need to sign an agreement between us, REC, and CPC. So I'm gonna need your signature on that. We can shoot it over to you in DocuSign if that's the easiest.
That is the easiest, yep.
Okay. And then they've been working on existing conditions. We had a kickoff meeting last week. And I think that's about it. That's where we stand right now.
Okay, great. Thanks. And for Travis's information, do you know that with this project at 95 North Street is basically an accessible park. It's open space that was donated by Grafton residents, and between the recreation and Concom, we've secured some funding through the CPC to actually build it. It's pretty cool. It's great to be
Yeah, it
involved
sounds
in
familiar. Yep.
Okay. Having that, now it's 7:09. Anything else to discuss, Leah?
If you want to read in and then continue 58 Follette, you can do that.
Okay. Sure, let me switch back. All right, for 58 Follette, pursuant to the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, Grafton Stormwater Management Bylaw, and Grafton Wetlands Protection Bylaw, the Conservation Commission hold a public hearing to act upon a notice of intent application for Grafton Stormwater Bylaw permit and application for a Grafton Wetlands Bylaw permit for the construction of a cell tower at 58 Follette Street. The applicant has requested a continuance to February 21st. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to continue the application or the hearing for 58 Follett Street to February 21st.
Very good.
Sec-
Second. Thank you, Jonathan. We have a motion, a second. Roll call vote. Jonathan?
Yeah.
Travis?
Yes.
I am also a yes. The motion carries.
So
Anything else?
with our 7:15 not even on here yet, if you did want to do 35 Crosby ahead of them, because they are continuance, so we don't have a specific time. But that's all that's left.
Okay. So Ray is online for that.
Mhm.
About how long do you think you're gonna need? Or how much you're gonna present tonight?
Very little. I responded to the questions you had presented last week, which were the questions from DEP and their file number submissions. That's all that was new before you.
All right, so why don't we go ahead and if you have your folks on, we'll open the hearing for the continuance. And then because 61 Leland Street is not here yet. Okay, so whoops. So pursuant to the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Grafton Stormwater Management Permit, Grafton Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing to act upon a notice of intent application for Grafton Stormwater Bylaw Permit, application for Grafton Wetlands Permit for the closure of the landfill at 35 Crosby Street. All right, so Ray, you can present anything that you have, and then we can get into a discussion on it.
All right, we responded in a letter of January 24th. There were 3 basic issues, again, which mirrored the one from the DEP's file number submission. If you'd like, you want me to paraphrase and go through those 3 items?
You can, yeah, just keep it high level because I think we've already talked about most of these. Yes.
Sure. Let's see. The first one was the stormwater basin. There was concern of there being close, less than 2 feet or less than 4 feet to the groundwater table. We had dug test pits in that area without any detection of groundwater, either observed or modeling. And the previous hydrogeo report from 1988 contoured that area to be 16 to 20 feet depth from the surface to groundwater in that area. Let's see, what else do we say? We also discussed that during construction period, we were going to put in a geotextile liner, which will be maintained during that year or 2 of construction, where sedimentation, siltation would be most prominent, and this would be within the forebay. During that period, we would maintain and remove any siltation, replace that geotextile as needed, and when construction is finished totally and a vegetated cover is established across the surface of the landfill, we would then go in, dig out the geotextile completely, and dig through any of the siltation sediment that may be accumulated down to natural material. The second issue was justifying the Woods Fair versus the Woods Good selection for the runoff coefficient for the existing conditions. Going to Woods Good from the Woods Fair, we had decreased rather the runoff because of increased permeability, presumed permeability, and heavier vegetation in the area. What we said was our justification for the Woods Fair is that this area was a landfill. It's been covered with material other than what's natural to the area, some siltation. It also presumably had some compaction activities on it with the machinery, with the placement of waste, with the placement of cover. Regardless of that, we revised our stormwater calculations to use the wood good factor, which would again decrease the existing condition or the original runoff volumes. And we did determine that we were still, except for the 100-year storm, runoff discharging from the site would be less during future conditions than during existing conditions. The third one was the calculation on the 50% total suspended solids or the 80% total suspended solids based on the grass swale contribution to that sediment removal. Again, we noted that that state water quality standard for the state stormwater management criteria is a standard based on the site being a redevelopment project, where we're to meet the maximum extent practical for both our ability to install best management practices and to achieve that regulation. We presented some discussion on the factoring in determining the runoff from using the grass swales we had, and determined that while we couldn't meet 80, we met 75% of that, which we felt, given the constraints of the site, that it's mostly a landfill and we have a little bit of area for doing the actual closure, construction, staging, and the best management practices area, that we did meet that most maximum extent practicable criteria. And those were our responses. I had no other presentation, just to answer questions.
Sandy, you're muted.
Thank you. That's why you're blankly looking at me like, yes. So Leah, you would like to go through your kind of comments?
Yeah, I just had the one to ask Ray to take us through what he just did. Other
Yes.
than that, I just had a finding and a few proposed special conditions when you guys are ready for that.
Okay, so I will open it up. I will open it up to the public. If you have any questions or comments, please raise your hand. In the meanwhile, I'll go around to each one of our commissioners to see if they have any other further questions or comments for the applicant. Jonathan.
No questions, no comments.
Travis.
Nope, no questions.
I also don't have any questions. Anyone from the public looking to ask any questions or have any comments?
Doesn't
No.
look like it.
Okay, great. So then we can kind of go through some of the special conditions to talk about those. And based on your report, do you want to go through them, Leah?
Sure. So I have a finding that this will be permitted as a limited project, and then I cite the part in the regs that talks about landfill closures.
Okay,
Then I had 4 special conditions. One is, per the applicant's description of work, extended stockpiling shall not occur. Incoming materials shall be directed to the active phase of operation and be incorporated into the landfill by the end of each day. Next one is the construction period basin shall be lined and not fully excavated during the construction phase, per Ray's letter that he mentioned earlier, to protect the future infiltration capability of the basin. Third, once more definitive information is obtained through the comprehensive site assessment, the proposed bottom of the basin elevation shall be confirmed or revisited as conditions dictate. And finally, a copy of the comprehensive site assessment shall be provided to the commission.
all right. We'll go around the commission. I have one quick question on the first one. I absolutely have no issue with, extended stockpiling shall not occur. This is the engineer in me. I needed to find that. what does extended mean? Is that 14 days of something that's out of the SWIP, or is it 30 days? So I'm wondering, Leah, if you had a time you were thinking of, or what you meant by extending stockpile.
So that was actually wording sent back to us when we sent in our review that we were asking for a location for stockpiling to be shown on the plan.
Okay.
And so the response was basically, they don't really need to stockpile because they'll be working with the material as they
Right.
go. So that was actually their wording, not mine.
Okay. And so, Ray, did you have a thought of like, so to me, when you say extend stockpiling shall not occur, as long as it's an active pile, it's active. It's not, sitting there. It's actively being worked. So when you say shall not occur, you mean if it's not active, it's not going to be there?
The operation would bring the dirt into the site and put it in place right off of the truck. So there
Okay.
really would be little to no stockpiling other than moving around within the landfill area.
Okay. And that's fine. I just want to make sure that you're okay with that. So
yeah.
you don't run into a condition where you have a stockpile there for a week or something, because you're saying you're not going to have that.
No, it'll be put in place as it arrives on site.
Okay.
Is it better if I take out the word extended?
Yes, I think that yes, it makes
Okay.
it a little bit clearer. And so I'll go around to see if anyone else on the commission has any questions. Jonathan, anything?
Nope, nothing.
And Travis?
Does the SWIP have some clause in it that if you do end up having to stockpile, you have to cover it with straw or some other material
Yeah,
like
the
within
way
7 days or something like that?
Yeah, it's actually 14. Oh, it used to be 14. I'd have to check the current regs, but typically if it's inactive, for 14 days, then you have to somehow protect it. And there's like a whole list of different ways you can do it. But
Okay,
that's just an easy one to reference. But it doesn't apply to an active pile.
right.
So,
Yeah, that, no other questions.
all right. Sounds good. If there's nothing from the public, does the applicant have anything more to add to the conversation? Otherwise, we're going to go through conditions and a vote.
At this time, no, I don't.
All right, great. So we need a motion that includes the finding that Leah listed, and also include the special conditions. So do I have a motion to approve the order of conditions?
I'll make a motion to approve the order of conditions. And the project, or is that a separate? The special
no,
project finding, is that separate?
It just needs to be mentioned, but it's part of the motion, and it's just
Okay.
to mention that we'll have a finding. Yes.
Okay, then motion also to approve the project as a limited project per 310 CMR 10.533P, along with those conditions.
Along with the special conditions listed. So we have a motion. Do we have a second? Motion and a second. Roll call vote. Jonathan,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
I am also a yes. The motion carries. So good luck, Ray, and you can reach out to Leah or Jan about getting the signed order of conditions.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your understanding and working with us. It was a very good experience.
All right.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Sandra. I want to second that. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Clean it up.
Good.
Now that's after 7:15, do we have folks for 61 Leland Street?
Yeah, I'm here. Tim Walsh. I'm one of the owners of 61 Leland.
Okay, so let me read in and open up the public hearing, and then we'll turn it over to you for the presentation.
Cool.
All right. All right, pursuant to the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, Grafton Stormwater Management Bylaw, Grafton Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing to act upon a notice of intent, application for Grafton Stormwater Bylaw permit, application for Stormwater Wetlands permit for the construction of a driveway, garage, and paddock at 61 Leland Street. And so if you please give us a brief presentation, and if, first of all, if you could just give your name and address, and be my guest. If you need anything shown, just ask Lee or Jan to do that.
Yeah, so it's my name's Tim Walsh. Address is 61 Leland Street, Grafton, Mass. So the plans are my wife and I. My wife's name is Lee Casaselli. We are hoping to clear about an acre of land for potential paddock use in the future. That's above our current property right now. And then we also want to kind of rework the existing driveway that's there right now and pave it over. It's currently a gravel driveway. So that's, you can kind of see on the kind of left side of the property, that coming in, and then up to where the proposed paddock space would be, we'd create a gravel access road, which you can see kind of curving up towards the north of the property. I don't know if that's north, but the top of the page. And that's pretty much it for now. The proposed garage space is really just clearing the space for it. It's already relatively clear. There's probably like 1 or 2 trees there, but we don't have plans to actually build the garage at this time or the funds to do so. And that's pretty much it. I know we're waiting for the peer review that you guys requested on the engineering. So obviously, I think Jan mentioned we'd probably have to push the actual approval to the next session, pending when that comes back. But yeah, I just want to kind of introduce the project to you guys.
Yep. Yes. And so what we'll do tonight is we listen to your presentation. We'll go around to the commissioners, see if anyone has specific questions. We'll go through what the staff has for their kind of review, including what you just talked about, was that, this went out to Graves for a peer review, and we're still waiting on that to come back. We'll also open it up to the public to see if they have any comments or questions. So what I'll do is I'll start with the commissioners. I'll go around, and if anyone has any specific questions, please ask them. Jonathan
Got nothing at this time.
and Travis.
Tim, you probably don't know this, but Leah, do you know if there was a prior wetland permit for the driveway installation?
We purchased the house in 2021, so about 1.5 years ago. And the prior owners, I believe, built it in 1998. So that I don't know. We did have a wetland study done by Ecotech in Worcester. So they've provided information on the wetlands, which is really just in the first part of the driveway. That's the only wetlands on our site.
So just to keep it orderly, all questions go through the chair, just so that we can have the right people respond and so forth.
Sorry.
So thank you for that response. Oh, don't worry about it, but thanks for the
I
response.
think I prompted him.
I know, but it's just, and it's fine. I mean, obviously this is something that was built prior to 2000. We probably have some information on it, but it's been there long enough, Travis, that wouldn't be something we'd be investigating unless there was some sort of something.
I wasn't sure if it was built like 4 years ago, if there was a prior permit.
Gotcha.
That's all.
Yeah. It's not a bad question. Any other questions, Travis?
I looked through the plans and I'm wondering if I'm reading it correctly. The riprap check dams are permanent within the riprap swale.
So,
Oh.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. And you can answer that.
Yes, to my understanding, all of that is permanent.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's it for me.
Yeah, that's kind of from as far as the plans go, that's the way they're indicated. So I don't have any specific questions on what you're looking to do. I know Leah had mentioned that this is for your own, this is the paddock and so forth is for your own horses for personal use, and that's it?
Yeah, I mean, we're not even putting up a barn at this point. This is a very early stage project for us. So
Okay.
yeah, we're not in, like, we won't have horses on the property after this is done because we won't have barns built or whatever.
Okay, yeah, that was probably my biggest question is you have this big, beautiful area and then no barn, so.
Yeah,
um,
that's the future, hopefully.
Yeah, and then I have a question for you, Leah. And this is more procedural. So, we're looking to approve the construction of a garage, and we just heard that it's not going to get constructed right away, but it still would be under, if we issue an order of conditions, that's good for 3 years. So if it's not built within the 3 years, they either have to have an extension or they end up coming back for a new one. So,
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. I wasn't sure because we don't have any like garage drawings or anything like that. So I wasn't sure if that'd be a separate permit anyways, because it's an actual structure.
So you'll need, just for your own information, you'll need to get a building permit for that, but for
Yeah.
what we're doing here, so the only thing that we're, that our jurisdiction is the wetlands and stormwater. So the fact that you don't have plans is not really that critical to us.
Okay.
But the thing that's important for you is to understand is that we'll issue, when we get to that point, in what's called an order of conditions, which sets out kind of the guidelines and conditions and so forth of the permit. And then it's good for 3 years.
Okay.
And you can extend it. But I just want to give you the heads up that you want to make sure you track that, because if you're
Yeah.
looking not to build right away, you want to keep that in mind. That would be it.
Okay, that's great information. I was actually kind of wondering how long this permit is good for once we,
Yep.
if and when it's approved. We intend to start doing this as soon as possible, but obviously things can get delayed. So
Absolutely. Leah, any other comments?
I just wanted to read off 2 comments from our interdepartmental review. I think Jan forwarded them to you as well. Planning just wanted to confirm the horse use was personal. The horses were for personal use only, not commercial or anything like that. And the Board of Health says that the proposal must be 100 feet from any wells, 10 feet from any septic tanks, and 20 feet from any leach fields.
And when they say that, they're talking about the paddock, or are they talking about the garage?
So the Board of Health wrote all 3 things in their comment: driveway, garage, and paddock, but I would have thought it's mainly the garage.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I mean, that's just we can get a clarification on that, but that's good information. I will open it up to the public. So if anyone is on here that's curious about this project, has questions or comments, please raise your hand and we will call on you. As people give people an opportunity, we'll just let the applicant know that, as you said up front, is that we are still waiting for our peer review from Graves, who is a peer review engineer. Also to let you know that, we would like to be able to receive that prior to we vote. So it is actually the applicant's purview to request the continuation, and that continuation would be to the February 21st meeting. So is that something you would like to request, is for the continuance?
yes.
All right. Yeah, thank you. It's just one of those procedural things. As the applicant, you get to choose. If
Yeah.
you don't really want to do it, we'd probably deny it based on lack of information, but we're more than happy to, continue it to the 21st. So we have all the information so we can make a informed decision.
Cool.
Anyone from the public raising their hand? All right, we
Nope.
have no one from the public. So what we'll do now is we'll make a motion to continue it to the 21st. And once we get the information from Graves, we'll be able to kind of have any final questions and wrap this up. So do I have a motion to continue this until the February 21st meeting?
I'll make a motion to continue the hearing to February 21st for 61 Leland Street.
Second,
Second,
got a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Jonathan,
yes.
Travis.
Yes.
I am also a yes. The motion carries and the hearing is continued to February 21st. Anything else, Leah? We've covered everything.
Did it all.
It's not even, it's 7:35.
It's a new record.
Most excellent job, everyone. Unless anyone has any comments or questions or like to discuss something, we have completed our agenda for tonight. All right, not seeing anyone eager to jump in and ask any questions or bring up a topic. So do I have one final motion?
Make a motion to end the meeting.
Very good. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the hearing. Roll call vote. Travis,
Yes.
Jonathan.
Yes.
I am also a yes. The hearing is closed. So see everyone on the